Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, and today we're back here at the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce, where they invite you to visit our charming New England villages with their lovely inns, bed and breakfast, fine restaurants, and unique retail shops. Today, Cathay Raymond will give us a preview of this year's Women Who Make a Difference Luncheon. Timothy M. Sievers, a local artist showing at the New London Barn Playhouse's Fleming Center Gallery, will introduce us to his work. And we'll close with Benjamin F. Edwards' Tom Robb as he preps us for this year's Black Fly Golf Tournament. But first, a few words from one of the underwriters that make your Yankee Chronicle possible. Please stay with us.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.
The American Red Cross blood supply is at historically low levels this winter, and we're facing a dangerous situation across the country. Without the blood they need, hospitals may be forced to make tough decisions about patient care. Donors are needed now to ensure blood is available for everyone who needs it when they need it. The good news is, you can help. Make an appointment to give now. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. Patients are counting on you.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
Little everyday conversations about the dangers of underage drinking can make a big difference in a child's life. Talk, they hear you.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel, your host. This year is the 25th edition of the Women Who Make a Difference Luncheon. Let's now join Cathay Raymond for a rundown of this year's event, Better Than Ever.
Thanks, Abby. I'm so delighted to be here to talk about the Women Who Make a Difference Luncheon. It's a big year. It's our 25th anniversary, which amazes me because I've done many special events, and for an event to be still as popular as this event is after 25 years is wonderful. It started in 2000, so I've been here for all but 3 of them. I started in 2004, so I have a long history with these events, and it started sort of a brainchild of Gail Matthews, who's the founder, which most people know at this point. She lives in Wilmot, and this is her story. One day she's driving up 89 after having been to a women's recognition gala of some kind in Boston. And she's driving up 89 to go home, and she's like, we should do something like this for women in the Kearsarge region. And literally that's how it started. She came back, she came to the V&A, because she was always supportive of Lake Sunapee V&A, and said, would you embrace and sponsor and kind of host that type of an event that honors women but raises some funds for the agency? And we said yes, and the rest is history. So I think what makes it so different and special is that you're raising money for a great cause, but you're honoring women in a very joyful way. There's music, there's raffles, there's laughing, it's all very local, and it's a return to spring for a lot of people who go away for the winter from this area. I think there's so many stars that lined up to make this just super popular. And as that happened, more and more people want to come, more and more people wanted to help with the event. I would have to say, to me, it is the signature event of Lake Sunapee V&A. It's not the biggest fundraiser, but it's 200 plus people attending, which is year after year after year, 225. And I think there's so many guests, but there's also so many people who help in all kinds of ways. And the 2 examples I always like to give are Spring Ledge Farm in New London, which Greg Berger, the owner, always loans us these massive, beautiful potted flowers to adorn the room, just as a gift. And then we have the 3rd, 4th graders from New London Elementary School. And this started, I can't remember how many years ago, maybe 12 years ago, where they come in and they sing 2 opening songs to kick the luncheon off. and they are adorable, and it's so happy, and they're kids, and just special things like that. And there's so many examples of that. I could go on and on and on about all the examples of the way the community comes together in big and small ways to just make it's really special. You know, we have raffles, we have music. And then when you hear about these women who win the award and all that they do, it's pretty inspiring. Yet it's people right here in our backyard. And we take nominations. The nominations are in. We're all set. We take nominations from every town Lake Sunapee Region V&A serves, which is more than 25 towns. And it's a real hard decision because everyone's wonderful. But it's just wonderful to hear about these often unsung heroes who get the award. And then maybe, again, 12, 15 years ago, we started giving a high school student an award, because they're the future of women leadership. A high school student who's a female, who's either a junior or a senior in high school, and nominations come from the principals and the guidance counselors. And it's our way of sort of recognizing young women who are up and coming. So we added that dimension to the event, which everyone loves to see these young people who are doing so much already. The awards are wonderful. The high school award is something that started maybe 12 or 15 years ago. Of course, the Women's Award has been since the first Luncheon. Last year's winner, it's so amazing because the woman who won the Woman Who Make a Difference Award, Woman Who Makes a Difference Award, is a woman from New London named Jane Van Bremen. Now, I know a lot of people around here because I worked here a long time. And this is just someone I was not on my radar screen. And she did so much quietly under the radar, which is probably why I didn't know her. It was amazing to me that I never even really heard of her. And she was so blown away by being recognized because she's very quiet about her dedication. So that was a great award winner. We love that. And then the high school student was from Sunapee, and her name was Bree Hulock. And again, just a marvelous young woman who does all kinds of community service and great student and athlete, all that stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of a highlight. And then we end the event on a note of joy by having a singer come and sing some kind of sort of inspiring or fun closing song. So you kind of leave the event feeling really good, which is one of our goals as a committee. We just want people to feel good and feel joyful and hopeful, hearing all about those wonderful stories about people and getting together and seeing each other. And I think that's why it's endured so many years, because it's kind of unique in that way. So this year's speaker we've had so many wonderful speakers, and this year's speaker is no exception. Her name is Joan Ecker, and many women who are in this region will recognize her company. It's called the Fat Hat Clothing Company out of Quechee, Vermont. And she's been around for 45 years. I won't get into stealing her thunder because she's going to speak about this, but her story of how she started and her story of resilience and her story of, the title of her talk is How to Be the Captain of Your Own Ship. And this company that's ballooned into this, national, chain of stores and boutiques and online ordering. But how she started is so remarkable. And the Fat Hat Clothing Company came in large part from when she first got started. She got sort of donated remnants of clothing and started making these funny little felt hats. And that's kind of the Fat Hat, where that came from. So she's got a great story, her personal story, her professional story, and that's what we want people. We want people to feel inspired by what the speaker's done, and kind of like I have the power to do that too. I have the power to take control of my own life. So she's going to be great. She's a lot of fun. It's May 8th, which is a Wednesday. It's always on a Wednesday. It starts at 11:30 promptly, we hope. Ends about 1:30. We open the doors at 11, so you can come in anytime after 11 and see your friends and get settled. And it's $50 a person, which it was last year as well. And there are sponsorships available, everything from a $100 donation up to $2,500 to help us offset the costs and raise a little money for Lake Sunapee V&A. And they're on our website, lakesunapeevna.org. So those sponsorship levels are there, the flyer is there. But again, Wednesday, May 8th, 11:30.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you to the Lake Sunapee Region, VNA, and Hospice for this event and for caring for us in our homes. When we return, our camera will be at the New London Barn Playhouse's Fleming Center to get a taste of the latest Center for the Arts micro gallery show hanging there and to meet the artist. But first, these messages from another one of our good underwriters.
This program is supported by the Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Because when you talk, they hear you.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel, your host. The New London Barn Playhouse hosts one of several Center for the Arts micro galleries at their Fleming Center. The latest show is the work of Timothy Sievers. Let's now meet the artist.
So I had a long career in medicine, doing a highly stressful job as an anesthesiologist, and I've always needed an outlet. And for years, I have been doing other things other than art. Sports, music. I was a lead guitarist in a mega church down in Manchester for 20 years. So it was always some kind of an outlet. But as I got older and then eventually retired last year, I was kind of finding myself looking for a new happy place. Sitting in my garage, just kind of pondering life. And I took a little fateful drive to Hobby Lobby in Claremont. And filled a cart full of supplies. I think I watched one video on YouTube of someone doing like a pouring thing. That's the only video I've ever watched in my life about art. And I kind of started, I looked at it and was like, oh, I can do that and I can take it further. And so that's what I did. I started making pieces. I really started to enjoy it. I've always appreciated color and the interplay of color and contradiction and structure and texture and all that. I would have to say, you know, people always thought I was a little bit on the edge flair-wise because I wore, you know, loud shirts and, you know, had all kinds of fun clothing. And I think that was sort of my early, you know, that's how I showed my appreciation for color. But now I found that, you know, I spend my whole summer in my garage making paintings. I got an open studio show last fall. I put together 140 paintings, wired them all in a couple days and hung them in our clubhouse at the, and it was a great success at Oak Ledge in Sunapee last fall. So since then I've just been doing pieces and finding places to show my art, which I really enjoy. The subject matters of a lot of my pieces are a lot to do with nature. I start off, my work is I call it kinetic art because it's a dynamic process of movement. I first come up with a subject, usually something that my brain saw or conjured in my head. This is a piece that I recently made and I'm very proud of it. It's a highly structured piece that I'm starting to work in impasto techniques where I use highly textured acrylic paints to basically sculpt. There's a company called Gaffrey Paints that makes the most sturdy, highly textured paints in the world. And I made this piece, which is important to me because I am personally someone who's in recovery. And this piece is called Serenity. A big part of my life is finding peace amidst the storm of life. And this is a visualization of an angry, stormy sea, crashing waves, yet in the middle of the piece, glistening, placid, comfortable waters that are repelling all the sea activity. And I find this is called Serenity, and it represents your ability to find inner peace amidst the storm of life. This is my global warming piece called Glacial Retreat. What I did was constructed an aerial view of a glacial field in either Greenland or Iceland or something like that, and then tried to show what would happen with global warming. So what I did was I made the piece as an aerial view of a glacial field, and then applied various forces to get this painting to move, much like a glacial field would do with global warming. So I painted the piece and then set it overnight with a 3-degree tilt in this corner down so that the painting would flow very slowly overnight. So that's what we see here is, and then I used heating quite a bit to get the paint to move in a controlled manner very slowly, just like we see with glaciers. And then also this painting is called Crystal Zen, where I incorporated natural luminescent crystals throughout the piece, and if I had a black light, which I don't today, the whole piece comes alive with a black light. You get rings of fire that burst out, and all the crystals luminesce. I find myself to be almost as much of an engineer with paint as an artist. I set up my paintings, my pieces with larger with brushes and sculpting tools and heavy foundations, and then build off of that with varying densities of paint and layering, so that I can. My process is to initially place paints. I think that's my strength in placing paints and overlying, and then I'll apply various forces, force of kinetic energy, movement, centrifugal force, tilting, making the paint move and flow. And then I use a lot of air. I work with various air devices, compressor, hair dryers, whatever I need to make, blowing through a straw to make the paint move. And then I apply a heating process. All my pieces are torched with a heavy-duty butane torch. My first pass is to take out little micro bubbles in the paint, and then I work the paint with the heat to bring out color from behind. It'll burst through, and you can control that as you, the more you work with this stuff and get to know how paints move and work together and how they flow. So the end result is a dynamic piece that seems to have some movement and a lot of color and eye-catchiness. I like to incorporate a lot of natural products as well into my art. Crystals, geodes, minerals. I made a piece right over here to my right where I incorporated, this is a chubby barracuda that my mind came up with, and I made him out of, he's made out of mica. So I painted this with heavy structured acrylic paints to get the underneath, and then I layered mica over all the paint and worked in other products to give it a nice sparkly fish scale texture. And I really like this. This is mica cuda. Well, I was always the decorator of the walls in my homes. I was the guy that searched out the art and found, I used my instruments as for years as decoration. At one point I had like 27 electric guitars and, ridiculous amount of firepower, and I hung them as art all over my house. But I've always appreciated art, and I think my artistic journey started when about 25 years ago, my father was a handyman in retirement for a woman in Henniker on a French's Pond. She was this amazing woman who made art, mixed media pieces in her retirement, just like I'm doing. And she was incredible in mixed media, and I bought most of her stuff, so I have most of her stuff in my house, and it's always inspired me. I have a website that I have everything up to my current stuff on. I need to incorporate that. I'm not quite up to date on the website, and you'll find all my stuff on there. And the way I do my sales is just through direct contact. I don't sell online directly.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you to the Barn Playhouse for providing the space to highlight other artists. For a rundown of the other micro galleries and the art hanging, go to centerfortheartsnh.org. When we return, I'll be joined by Tom Robb of Benjamin F. Edwards for a rundown on this year's Black Fly Golf Tournament. But first, these words from the good folks that make our communities the great places they are, the businesses that support us, and the organizations you know and love.
This program is supported by Main Street Bookends of Warner for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
When you take your car in for an oil change, a good mechanic will also take care of other routine maintenance to make sure your car runs safely and efficiently. Protecting your health isn't much different. When you get a COVID-19 vaccine, it's important to make sure you're also protected from other serious but preventable diseases. It's easy and convenient to get other routine vaccines at the same time as a COVID-19 vaccine. So make sure you ask a healthcare professional about other vaccines you may need to maintain your health.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, coming to you from the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce right here on Main Street in New London. And I'm now joined by Tom Robb, who's a board member of the Chamber, talking about the Black Flag Open Golf Tournament. I can't believe it's time.
It's right around the corner.
I love talking about this event every year. I think first of all, the Chamber does such a great job putting it together and having amazing sponsors, and it fills up so quickly. But for those that don't know, talk about the Black Fly Open. What's it all about?
Yeah, so we're looking at our annual Black Fly tournament coming up at May 16th. It's going to be at Lake Sunapee Country Club, and we're looking for a shotgun start at 10 o'clock. We have some amazing sponsors that have already joined us, and players are lined up. We're ready to play.
Awesome. Are there still available spots for teams if they want to join?
We do have some available spots, both on sponsorships and for players as well if they want to join.
But I know they go quick, so don't waste any time.
Yes.
Yeah, don't waste any time. Talk about how this, all got started. What's it mean for the Chamber? What's it go towards? All those fun things.
So this is the Chamber's biggest fundraising event, and the proceeds that we get from here help to cover our operational expenses as they occur over the year. And we also, during this time of year, we want to get the public, get the community back together again. So we do this for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, I do think it's always one of the first events of the spring season where it's the first outdoor event that we can all participate in.
After a harsh winter, everybody's looking to get outside.
We might have some snowbanks still, but we'll be okay. Yeah. Talk about your involvement in the Chamber. Why are you a board member? What's it mean to you to be part of this organization?
Well, so I really enjoy getting out into the community and helping. And the best way to do that is really become a board member, where I can put my thoughts and ideas out there, work with a lot of talented and energetic people, and just try to bring the community together and really our purpose.
And what do you do professionally?
I'm a financial advisor for Benjamin Edwards, right down the road from here.
Great, very convenient.
Yeah.
If people want more information, we talked about sponsorship. You always have really good prizes. I remember talking in the past, there's some good hole-in-one prizes and things like that. But if people not only want to sponsor, but play as well, what's the best way to get information?
Best way would be really get a hold of us here at the Chamber.
Great.
And there's also our fantastic website to go to where all of our information is out there for the public to see.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you good weather, minimal black flies, even though it is called the Black Fly Open. I think there has to be a few, right?
Sure,
yeah. And the waving thing that buzzes them.
Yeah.
And a really good fun day playing the Black Fly golf tournament.
You know, we're really looking forward to it. We have some fantastic prizes out there. I think we've superseded everything that we've done last year. There are some hole-in-one competitions. There's some raffle prizes out there. You have the opportunity to win some tickets to sporting events. We have vacations and some cash prizes as well.
Amazing.
I also want to give a shout out to our top tier sponsors that we have out there so far this year. So just a hats off to North Cape Design, Mount Sunapee, Crown Point Cabinetry, Pella Windows and Doors, Charles Schwab, Old Hampshire Designs, and also Ledyard National Bank.
Great.
They've joined us this year as our top tier sponsors. And also, just want to let you know that Goodhue is going to be delivering a watercraft to our Black Fly Open this year. They're going to park the boat right at the clubhouse. Going to let you see it, get familiar with it. The most exciting part is you get a chance to win the boat.
Hole-in-one.
And hole-in-one competition.
Darn.
So that's generating a lot of excitement.
I thought it was just if you show up, you got a chance for being in there, but I guess you got to work a little bit harder.
Got to work
than
a little
that.
harder. Yeah, got to get that in the hole. Came close last year. Maybe this year.
Okay,
will be
and there's nothing better than looking at it and being like, okay, that is eye on the prize. Make
Absolutely,
it happen.
yes.
Tom Robb from the Chamber, Black Fly Open coming up in May. Thanks for joining me and giving me all the rundown on this great event.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Time to get back into the swing of things. Spring is here, really. The Lake Sunapee Region Chamber.com is where you can check out a full calendar of activities and cultural events no matter the season. Join us for another edition of your Who, What, Where, and When show of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, when we'll go behind the scenes at MJ Harrington Jewelers and see and meet one of their craftsmen making unique jewelry. Don't miss our Game of the Week second season as we replay the Kearsarge boys basketball game against Monadnock. Our next game has the girls matchup with Monadnock. All of our games replay at noon and 7 p.m. on Sundays and Mondays on TDS TV 13 and 1013 and NCTV 8. Check out ycnnow.com for the most up-to-date schedules and on-demand viewing of all of our shows. I'm Abby Peel. Join us next week at this same time for another edition of Yankee Chronicle. We'll see you then.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. Main Street Bookends of Warner, for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art, Main Street bookends of Warner. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge-Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.